Hello, good evening, welcome along to the JACKOCAR Cup Series. It is Season 8, or Season 10 I should say, round 8, I'm getting my numbers mixed up now. We're here in Monaco for what should be another exciting race. The season's really picked up since Baku, and if you haven't seen the race last week in Belgium in particular, you need to go back and watch it. Jacko, my co-commentator, obviously missed it in the as he was driving, but for once, I think for the second time this season, we're both in the commentary box and both actually commentating, which is a bit of a miracle. But hopefully I've given you enough time. Hello, Jacko.
You've given me enough time. It's just YouTube that is not keeping up with us. So at the moment, my devices tell me we are not live.
Well, that's always a good sign.
We are. Hello, everybody. We are live. And
Don't worry, this is the last time we're doing this on the PS4.
Live with 19 drivers. Jamie Numbers is not turning up. We think he might have... what's that guy that went missing in Tenerife? Jay
Slater.
Yeah. He is the Jay Slater of JACKOCAR.
Always got lost in the casinos here in Monaco. Wouldn't blame him.
He's hung by the threads of his boxer shorts on a cactus in the heat of Tenerife.
And that is the official reasoning that we got from the police earlier on, so there's no way we can possibly question it as we sit here in the Monaco pit lane at night time, of course, as usual, awaiting what hopefully is going to be an exciting qualifying session, which leads to an exciting race. We've got two jokers tonight, one which I'm quite excited about, which is Leroy, the other I'm not so excited about, which is Casper, because the stages tonight are lap 29 and lap 32. This means surely there's no possible way that Casper can't win this race and pick up the bonuses that you get for winning it on a joker. So we'll be keeping our eyes on him to see just what new method he's going to find to lose this week, as we see Michel Goris exiting the pit lane to begin qualifying. And he's got some flashes of pink on the car, looking quite nice under the lights, must say.
So really everything is in Casper's favour to go and win this, isn't it? You know, if you put the cards in his hands, surely he can't mess it up, because his 3 or 4 attempts so far this season, he certainly has. The other joker is Leroy Haselarger, but as you say, Owen, Michel Goris out to track then. There he is, completing the hairpin on his outlap. We're looking forward to this one. I just got a feeling about tonight that something is going to happen.
It's an odd placing really for Monaco, actually, isn't it? I wonder if the fact that there's not, well, maybe it's wrong to say there's nothing at stake, but normally it's either, the first race of the season, or we're well into the playoffs by the time we come here. Obviously, last season it was the penultimate race of the season, and it all went up in the air then. I do wonder if with slightly less stakes, we'll see a slightly different Monaco race, but it doesn't stop the carnage happening, I suppose. I mean, look at season 1, where we had, who was upside down in the pits, was it? Mr. John.
Mr. John.
Yeah, Mr. John upside down, on the way out of the tunnel, I should say, by being hit by the safety car. So really anything can happen. But yeah, I do think maybe it being round 8 this week rather than, end of the season, we might see some slightly more calm drives. I don't know. Maybe I'm being pessimistic. But, we'll find out, I suppose, as we watch Michel Goris heading through towards the end of the first sector. And I'm really hoping, by the way, the streaming quality is a bit better this week, because it looked utterly atrocious last time. I hadn't turned game mode on my TV. Rookie error.
Oh, bro.
So it probably means I could have raced, actually, if I wanted to. I never worked out until tonight I could turn it on, but then I remembered it's Monaco. I'm not going to mention that to Jacko until it's already too late, which it is. As through the tunnel, avoiding the bump on the right-hand side. It's meant to be the racing line for the tunnel there, where you cut to the inside, but the bump loses you a tenth every time. There's a similar problem to Silverstone. There's a wee nick on the wall there, coming out of the chicane, where Lando Norris hit the wall last year, I think. Through Portier and through the swim pool section. It's relatively well committed. I mean, there's a couple of corners you could have done a bit better, but I mean, you're never really going to get a perfect lap round here. It's so difficult, especially when you've only got one lap, and getting to the end of it is a victory on its own. So here comes Michel Goris crossing the line, and it's a 1:10.4, the benchmark.
We will assume that is somewhat good, as attention moves to the owner of One Hub Racing, Nick Egan. His second start this season, honeymoon well and truly over with, as he's now in race 2 of this season. Of course, it's a correct time to mention the shootout as well. Nick this week is against the Welshman Bazza, who you'll see in a second. And then the other lineups are as follows: Yuri Haselarger versus Gareth Hall, Jordan Lane versus Corey, and Danny Quinn versus Pete Knighton. So Nick last week beat Leroy Hazelager, who is out sick from the end right before the Fast Five. What can the young man from the south of England do? The interesting fact about Nick, he runs a Wimpy.
He what? I'll need that explained.
Oh my! Okay, basically, it's nostalgic McDonald's. Is the best way I could describe that.
But McDonald's, anyway. I'm gonna get into an argument. Says Nick. Oh,
at the wall!
Just misses the wall. Oh, not ideal, but it could have gone a lot worse. As Nick, he had really good pace actually at seen last week in qualifying in Spa. Just misses the wall, and even with that, only 1.7 seconds off the pace. I think that was a good lap that he was on, but sadly, he got it wrong, and even worse, we caught it on camera. Oh yeah, Bazza still running the HRT livery. I haven't actually asked him if it's what it's meant to be, but well, we'll see what his pace is like. Spoiler alert, it'll be basically outside the 107%, wouldn't it? So I suppose 2011 HRT it is. I quite like it. I do quite like it.
Lovely livery. Awful lap though. He really struggled, and shows 1:14.9 basically at the end there. So we'll swiftly move away from Bazza and join Mr. Michael
front wing
Okeke,
on the left-hand side.
Lost some front wing.
Hamilton had that wall a couple of years ago in qualifying.
One day, Owen, it's all going to come right for him. We keep saying it. It probably won't be tonight because we've said it now. But one day, it will.
Just for context, last time it did happen for him, I was 18 years of age, and now I'm 22 and a half. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. It's probably not going to happen, but who knows? Who knows? As Okeke comes through the final corner, doesn't hit the wall again. It looks like it's going to be a slow lap regardless, so even with the front wing damage, if he doesn't have much confidence in most tracks, it's going to be a big struggle right here, unfortunately. Getting around the lap is an achievement in itself in that case. No, Ben Shaw.
Someone who doesn't lack confidence around Monaco. He loves it here. You'd put him in sort of top 5 category around this track, up there with the likes of Casper and Khalifa who have come before him. But where can Ben Shaw put himself in qualifying? P1, a 109.3. It may be beaten, but it's certainly a good new benchmark as he knocks Michel down to P2.
It's a refreshing sight, isn't it, to not see ERT 1.1 seconds play, and that's gone for someone who drives for ERT, or at least allegedly does. I haven't driven for all season because of various issues, but I'll be in another league at some point one day. I still care about ERT, but I do kind of want to see them beaten, as we're getting a bit sick of them. As we see Yuri come around the final corner, he's on the Joker tonight. Just get it across the line and see what happens in the race. He's got it across the line in P3. Yuri, who of course was one of the main players in last season's chase battle, which went absolutely terribly wrong at turn 1 here, when just all sorts of chaos happened, and I think it caused me and Gareth to get all the mavs wrong, and I'm not sure if Yuri's fully over it yet, to be honest, but chaos it was. Now I'm hearing disappointing signs about Sir Gwyneth.
Danny Quinn has become the first driver to invalidate this evening. This is off the back of his best ever Cup Series result, P3 last week.
Brilliant race,
His previous best before that was P5, but yeah, fantastic and well deserved last week. It must be said. But he will start certainly towards the back this evening here in the streets of Monte Carlo. P12 over the line. So we'll move away very quickly to Jamie Griffiths, who isn't here, and also Matt Rosamond, who isn't here, who was meant to be his replacement. So it means Pete Knighton, we're going to get an entire lap with you. And he loves Monaco, doesn't he, Owen Wyatt?
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think we've actually counted every season's pit stops. We only just sort of stopped counting when he hit 9 pit stops in one race. But it must be somewhere near the 50s now he's had for pit stops around here. 10 seasons. I mean, it builds up after time. So surely he'll get it right one day, will Pete, as he comes through turn 1 and hits the wall straight away. maybe not then. Oh dear. Another thing on Quinn there, by the way. I didn't really mention him too much last week until basically 2 laps to go. Because we knew he was on his Joker, and he was the only one making the Joker work when he went from mediums to hards, I think, and the rain obviously came at the end of the race. and we were too focused on Yuri's potential charge for victory that we may not have given Quinn as much credit as he deserved. We did tell him a little bit at the end of the race, but yes, definitely comfortably his drive of the season there, and Yuri ended up sticking it in the wall in the end, so just to add to the pain. We're discussing for him tonight. He really could do with everything going to plan tonight. I also said Yuri was on a joker tonight, of course, it's his brother, and I really should know better.
His brother actually 100 JACKOCAR starts this evening. Yuri hit 300 on Tuesday, sorry, 200. So it's 300 for the Haselagers this week. Incredible stats, they really are. And also touched on Quinn again. He actually had an awful go at Belgium in the Kia Series, but then had a chance of winning it in Cup. Meanwhile, it was vice versa for Yuri. P9 across the line. P2, good lap.
I'm impressed.
We didn't talk about him, but over the line he goes. And now we're going to move away from him to Matt Shepherd, filling in for the second time this season. He's been really good in the Kia Series as well. Unexpectedly, I dare say. But what can he do in the Cup Series?
He does feel like a driver who's been around for a long time, Matt Shepherd, and he never really showed up in the Cup Series, but we'll see if he's got the pace. He looked committed enough on that lap, and he does go P4, avoiding the car coming out of the pits very sportingly. Probably cost him half a tenth, but oh well. Who's next?
Matt Shepherd, by the way. 11 Cup Series starts, his first of which in Season 6. So, a reserve driver. But yeah, has been around for some time. Here is Tony Kirkpatrick.
Mr. Controversial at the minute, unfortunately, I think. You would have noticed he was driving for ERT back in Baku. I say he was driving for ERT. He was driving with him from one corner before his teammate Arnaud mercilessly murdered him at turn 1. He's not a speed driver, and that's about all we can say about that. So the old man in Arnaud kicks out the other old man in Tony, and I'm sure Dex was just thrilled to see all that happening between grown adults. But oh well. He's still got the pace. It's
a scruffy old lap as well.
It's P1, 2, 3 for speed. I'm sure that's a statement that Tony will be very pleased to to make as he rides in what looks a bit like a Nickelodeon livery type thing. Do you not think?
I was going to say it's the Mystery
Machine.
Scooby-Doo.
Yes,
yeah.
That's more like it. Yes, of course.
Reggie?
Right.
This is
Jordan, save me. Where are you? Oh dear me. Did he have the?
I like that.
Did he have the ERT in his name last week? I wonder if he's been promoted now to allowed to show ERT in his username, having lost Tony.
Do you want me to do a VAR check on that?
I reckon I might need a VAR check. The man who goes P4, still showing good pace this season, which is good to see. He was pleased that we noticed his pace last week, and I'm pleased that he's kept the pace up. Now, who are we looking for next?
By the way.
He did not. Well, there you go.
But sorry, he was just ERT_Jordan. So he's actually added his surname.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
At least someone had changed.
Yeah.
But one thing that's not going to change, probably, is the Marussia of Casper, looking for a little bit of Monaco magic. He's on a joker. It wouldn't really take much effort for him, but just getting to the end of the race without breaking the regulation is really the main priority. He's got the speed guys to beat, and he has done. By nearly half a second, he's ahead of Tony, and up to P1 on the joker, let's say. It'll take a lot to beat him tonight. You could almost argue it'll take a tyre barrier or a piece of Aramco or something like that to stop him winning this race. Unless, of course, Gareth Hall gets his mitts into him. You know he's up for this one.
All Gareth Hall wants to do is lead a single lap and take another playoff point. He's led 4 laps in the last 4 races, which is 4 playoff points, but he is more than happy with that as he makes his way through those couple of corners. Is it a chicane? It sort of is. I don't really believe it is. But this is a chicane through swimming pool. Gets all out of shape, but keeps it valid. Hits the wall Hamilton style. And then into Raskas he comes. Just the one corner to go for Gareth. It's scruffy, but so was Tony's lap, and he went and put it at the time P1. He now sits P2. Gareth's best qualifying this season's P7, and he goes P8.
Got to say, Monaco, if you get to the lead, you'll stay there. So if Gareth makes it there tonight, there'll be a lot of blocking going on. That might be another thing that could worry Casper and the likes later on. Worth pointing out, because he will try and lead. We know he'll try and lead.
Oh, he will. By the way, invalidation for Joker Leroy. The only man he'll start in front of is Quinn, unless anybody else does the same thing. He will complete his lap as he has to, but that is a disappointing start to the evening for the Dutchman. 100 JACKOCAR career starts. The Season 4 Kia Series champion, but we'll start from the back of the grid tonight.
Yeah, he'll need his very best drive, won't he, to make anything of tonight, as we see Corey dancing through Sector 1. Got his win earlier on in the season in that controversial race in Baku, where, of course, Arnaud tried to kill him too. So, a little bit of brain fade from the old man, unfortunately. I mean, it made for some great entertainment. I wish I were in the comedy box for it, but I was too busy moving out of the house. So, I did catch it, though. Very enjoyable. You sounded very excited, as you should do, really, for a race as good as that, when it all went wrong for ERT, for once.
I did a very
he's at the
good
wall.
job in commentary that week. Yeah, he has. He's at the wall.
And again. Oh dear.
There was, let me tell you, Owen, there was nobody in that week, so I could go all out for it.
I know, you were so excited. You DM'd me earlier on saying, you better be up for this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't.
By the way, Corey Dalton on pad tonight, so it might explain this lap time. Level 1:11.2. We'll move on to the birthday boy then, Ben Harrett. How old is he today?
60?
27 or 28, something like that. Acts like a
yes.
5-year-old though. And
only good at the
he was
speedways.
most unimpressed when I said my gift to him was 39 laps of Monaco. Ungrateful with anything.
If he's lucky.
But Gareth said he'd cut it short to at least 20. But where can Ben Harrett go on his birthday day? P10.
Great
I was going to say birthday eve.
Yeah.
but it's not his eve, it is his birthday.
Sense.
Yeah.
No, look who's back. Mr. I'm not racist. I didn't do anything wrong.
The in-house racist is here.
Catboy is back. Wonder how that happened. Unbelievable. PSN, have they done him dirty again? Or has he been caught with the white hoods on?
Fuck's sake.
As he comes through to the end of the middle sector, he's obviously not racist. Let's just make that absolutely clear.
Oh, he is. I've seen the evidence.
Well, actually, if you hear him in Jacko Ball, you might start to believe it. As we're on the final corner,
very much trying to stop the boats is Kieran, but very committed on this lap. P4. Yeah. Move on quickly, Owen, before we say something that we shouldn't. Oh, now degree for last week's race winner has invalidated. He has not.
Although he'll be a force to reckon with from the back at least. It'll be something worth watching. It's a shame though, he's got one of the best deliveries out there on the track, so we're not going to get to see that too much shine under the lights. We need to make sure we give him a little bit of focus throughout the evening, because I'm a big fan of someone who actually makes an effort with deliveries, although it has to be said, this probably cost him about 50 quid. I'm hearing noises of shock.
Yeah, Jake locked up and had half a slide into turn 1, but got away with it. He's now made it as far as Casino Square, and it looks very planted, very solid so far. Turn 1 may let him down. At the end of this, he clips the wall again. That won't be pole. The pole has gone. So it's just a matter of completing the lap now for the two-time champion. Well done, Casper. 3rd pole this season, 9th all-time.
You know,
I believe those stats are correct.
You're just asking for the best middle sector and final sector of all time. You watched Max take pole here last year. You know it's not over until it's over.
Well, let's stay on board with him and see what happens, Owen Wyatt, because I think that the start of Sector 2 was messy as anything. It's going to really let him down. So I think. But you believe that he's going to go pole here. So over to Owen Wyatt to bring Jake O'Sullivan over the line.
I just said he might. You know, let's not get too excited here. Just in case he does go and make our words look a bit silly. He did go P5 in the end. I thought those little moments he might have done quite well in fairness, but it is Casper on pole. He is going to be looking behind his pole position grid slot and see loads of speed drivers. I wonder if any of them will think about having to go into turn 1, especially Tony, who'll be looking to, like I say, make a little bit of a statement after what happened in Baku. So don't at all be surprised when he feeds Casper into the wall. Not that I'd condone that sort of behaviour, but you know, I'm not going to say no to a little bit of drama here in Monaco. That's what we're here for.
Oh, it's coming. You know it is. Do you have a black screen this week, or do you want me to do the...
don't know yet. I'll need to wait and see.
But
I'd get. Oh no, I can see. Right, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Casper's on pole, Tony second, Ben Shaw third, Catboy fourth, Jake fifth, Pete sixth, Jordan seventh, Michelle eighth, Matt Shepherd ninth, Gareth 10th, Yuri 11th, Ben Harrett 12th, Corey 13th, Nick 14th, Bazza 15th, OKK 16th, and the three non-qualifiers, Arnold, Leroy on his Joker, and Sir Gwyneth. And obviously the pole man, of course, Casper, on his Joker. He's going to try and get the clean sweep in all the playoff points. Which is a possibility, like I say, thanks to the way the stages are set up, because the stages are lap 29 and 32. So we could see aggressive strategies behind whoever just stays out the whole race, and that could be what does it. Safety cars could affect it as well. So we'll always turn around and say it looks easy on paper, but we are in Monaco, and what's easy around Monaco? Nothing. Sitting here and watching it's quite easy, unless you're me and Gareth last season, who weren't watching it closely enough and got the miles wrong. But I blame him for that. Old man tax.
How was it that you and Gareth were commentating? Was I racing that one by any chance?
I don't know. I don't think you were there. Because I think I was solo commentating. Or maybe you were there in qualifying and then you cleared off for the race. That might have been what happened. Because I watched the qualifying happen and you were like, this is too distracting. And so it was me in the race. And then as soon as Gareth, I assume, put it in the wall, I got him in the party. Same as Saudi this season, basically. And he came in, started doing Maz, and got the Maz wrong.
And I do remember having to confirm something for you.
Yeah.
Like post-race.
I think
you were definitely wrong.
We spent a good 10 minutes post-race arguing about it. And we thought we'd agreed on the correct answer. And we were just completely wrong. I think we'd forecast Khalifa had knocked himself out, which of course would have went down really badly because he went on and won the title the next week. So yeah,
it was very close, wasn't it? Like a point or two in it.
Oh, it was mental because it all went wrong at turn one really, and then from then there was all sorts of chaos. The chase took our attention really because what was it? Okay, was it Risky, Ben Harrett, and Yuri? And it all went wrong at turn one. Big accident, a bit similar to season 4 when it all went wrong there too. And I think it was Ben Harrett who'd received a rear puncture which left him stuck in the pits for about 2 laps until the game finally inched him to his pit box. So he was essentially blocking Risky and Yuri, and eventually he put one of them in the wall. I think it was Yuri, and it caused all sorts of complete chaos, which put Ben through to the Championship 5.
Very controversial. The same race in which OKK pushed Ben Harrett around for half a lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, because of the puncture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was basically grounded because obviously F1 23 didn't quite understand how punctures work. But it made for a dramatic finale, and definitely another JACKOCAR classic. Really. Well, will we get one here tonight? Let's say the stakes are slightly less, but anyone could have a look at this and think, I fancy stealing a victory. I mean, Gareth will probably stay out till lap 37 if he can manage it. And just, see what he can do and try and destabilise everything that's going on behind him. Project Chase is looking quite exciting, really, because it's become a very real thing, because Casper's still not qualified. Ben Shaw, still not qualified. He's only been here a couple of weeks. And Gareth is accidentally doing really well this season and getting himself qualified. So it's it's going to get a point where people start thinking, right, I'm actually doing too well now. I'm going to end up in the playoffs. It's a bold strategy because only one person gets through the chase, of course. But every season it gets more and more tactical.
Because there's no point being Sullivan Lewis approach and just not turn up.
Is it? Because there's no point being the 8th or 9th driver in the playoffs, is there? Because you're probably going to get knocked out in the first or second round, and that's just, unless you out of the championship before anyone else. But that's the jeopardy. Actually, only one person gets through the chase. That's why our system works quite well, and why NASCAR themselves really ought to copy us. They keep copying us. They copied the club card shootout from us, and maybe they should. I know we copied from them for this, but we're doing it better. So feel free to take inspiration.
Did you know, Owen, the NASCAR bit, when they're in the playoffs, they reset the playoff points after each round of races? So, like, say you entered the first, what they would call the round of 16 as like 1,060 points, so 1,000 is the default.
Yeah.
You can earn, say, you can earn up to 1,200 points or whatever. They then reset that for the next round back to what would be 2,060, minor or adding in whatever playoff points they've earned in those 3 races.
Yeah, it's not the smartest, is it? Ours
No,
is just a lot more simple. Ours is very much a one half of the season, second half of the season, easy to follow, and hopefully we'll be able to, well, have a good race in Monaco. I'm slightly nervous for this really into turn 1. Anything can really happen here. We've got 5 lights. Casper's on pole, on his Joker. Can he convert? Here in Monaco, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. Is it a decent start from Casper? He's a little bit squirrely. Will Tony try to move around the outside? He certainly will. As we go wheels way up the hill, and Tony straight into the lead. Fantastic move. I think Casper knew it was coming. He stayed well clear. There's a car in the wall. I think that's possibly
Leroy.
Quinn, Leroy, OKK, a few of them in there, possibly Arnold too. A lot was going on down there. I think it's a 4-car pile-up. We've got VSC out for now, but all 4 cars have got back underway. But Leroy, 10-second penalty. He'll be able to see that in the pits. But not the ideal start. Yeah, it's definitely not. I think he's got a front win as well, hasn't he? Yeah, he has. And he's just lost the rest of it as he heads up the hill, possibly trying to sort of bring a safety car out, put a little bit of debris out there. But it looks like we're staying VSC for now. But at the front, perfect start from Tony and Jake, by the way, got up ahead of Kieran.
Yep, and Ben Shaw retains P3. So only 2 changes in the top 5. I saw as well further back, Pete Knighton went in the back of, I believe it was Michelle, so he has wing damage. Matt Shepherd also with wing damage as he got in the back of Jordan. And then you saw the mess further down. Gareth loses out 2 positions. And Corey P13 on pad. I think he'd take that and can relax with the BSC for the minute.
Have we still got red flags in this game, by the way? That's a question I haven't even thought to ask. Because, I mean, a 4-car pile-up at turn 1 that blocks the track. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
what's all that about?
We do. Cup Series has seen 3 red flag periods. So
I caused one. I caused one.
Speaking of laps, by the way, tonight will take us to 4,994 Cup Series laps.
We're
Which
on
means
green
lap
again, by the way.
6 in Imola next week will be number 5,000. Tony gets us underway.
Yes, Vanessa, we had the red flag in Spa, had a red flag here as well. Where was the other one?
Don't know.
Great. Okay. Well, back to the race.
Can't help you.
Arnold out of the pits. Obviously, Leroy's going to be a lot further behind him, and well, his Joker's had it really. I mean, he could have gone round another 2 laps. I mean, he was going to be last anyway. You could argue it might have been worth trying it, but his Joker is over now. Because you got a pit. The first pit window open is at the end of lap 3, so
yeah,
that's a
lap
shame.
1 and lap 2 is still non-mandatory for Joker drivers, by the way. So Joker has very much gone, and he's spun in Casino.
He maybe has some floor damage. I mean, he was the one sideways. The first car saw the sideways, and so I mean, it's a 4-car pile-up. You could hypothesize that he may well have been tapped on the side, or maybe the rear, the diffuser. You know, any damage could be done. We're on simulation here. It doesn't take much to ruin your car, unfortunately. And it's a long way back.
Baza, by the way, for P15 into turn 1 goes Quinn, and that's
front wing gone.
Front wing damage. Yeah, but for who?
Baza.
Quinn.
It's Baza.
It is. Yeah, sorry, the black of Quinn's car. Confusing me that, but Baza struggling anyway. That won't help.
Very wide, nearly into the wall. He might fancy pitting at the end of this lap. Luckily, he can. Now the pit window is open. And again, Arnold, I do wonder why he didn't just. I suppose. Well, yeah, he might as well just wait. I mean, he's he's going to be at the back anyway, so I suppose he could pit again and just wait for the safety car. But yeah, Arnold just having his own race night on the naughty step, perhaps. Some people, like I say, will have enjoyed seeing that after last week as well. Baku and then Spa back to back. They need to see how a little bit of a stinker. As Baza gets a penalty on his way, presumably back to the pits. He's definitely struggling with that front wing damage, isn't he? He's fallen well off Quinn.
Yeah. Pete Knighton's starting to come under pressure now from Jordan, who's right behind him. This is for P7, but gets a better launch, does Pete, who was really struggling in the final sector there. But going well. I know we're only 4 laps in, but he is going very well for himself there, compared to historic results that he's achieved around Monaco.
Won't last long.
Yeah. Do you want the stat? How many races it's been?
Yes.
Okay, coming right up.
I thought you might have it ready.
Yeah, I do. It's 148.
Lovely.
Big moment for Michelle there, by the way,
say,
just before the
pit
tunnel.
snap. This group's become a bit detached, hasn't it, from the leading... I say the leading group of 5, even they've become a little bit detached. I think Casper's the only one who can hold on to Tony's pace. But he knows there's no real point trying to pass him with the way his situation is in terms of pit stops. I haven't actually checked what tyres everyone's on. Is anyone on the softs? Only Gareth, so I wonder if Gareth will be the early pit stop onto the hards and just wait for the field to end up behind him. As Corey now picks up the penalty, down in P13. Could be a long race when you're stuck down there, you know.
Yeah, Ben Shaw in the prime position to pick up the scraps if Casper and Tony come to blows, because you know Tony probably has something against ERT at the minute. Who can blame him? So this could be tasty. The only thing that could disappoint here is obviously Casper is on the Joker, so he will have a 20-second advantage at some point. But you never know when the safety car's going to come out, because I fully expect us to get at least one, don't you?
I would have thought so, yeah. The way the track is here, and the way we've already got that sort of snake going from P6 with Michel Goris all the way down to Nick Egan. And there's a yellow flag for Leroy, and we suspected he may well put it in the wall at some point, and he has brought the safety car out. And you can see the debris here. He's gone through Portier, he hit the wall quite hard, and he's presumably ended up down the swimming pool. Yes, there he is.
So, race 100 over for him. But you know what? This is now fantastic news for everybody but Casper. So if Tony wanted to... he's going to stay out.
He dummied there.
He could have pitted. Yeah. Ben Shaw stays out. Jake stays out. Catboy takes the bait. He's been offered a bit of catnip. He's taken it, and he's going to go for hard tyres to the end here, with the exception of his second stop, which will come from lap 33 onwards.
A lot of the midfielders are pitting, so that's them rolling the dice, really, isn't it? You would have expected. Yeah. Gareth broke his front wing, actually, so he's replacing that and getting off those soft compound tyres. They weren't going to last long anyway, so makes sense for him to do that. But yeah, we have, how many is that? 9 drivers into the pits there. Bassett, he gets his battery out of the way. Arnaud not taking his mandatory stop. He's still basically last. I don't really see why, but oh, Gareth there tried to beat him out. Didn't quite manage it, did he? No, not quite. Corey picked up a penalty, by the way, on the way out of the pits, I think. So he must have... Well, I don't even know how you manage that. I mean, that might be a game issue more than anything, but we don't take away 3-second penalties here, so tough.
Yep. Leroy, by the way, confirming dark orange underfloor damage and red rear wing, which explains his spin going up to Casino after the pit stop.
Yeah.
So he did well to make it even to lap 5.
It's probably why he didn't care too much about his Joker anymore. I think he knew it was over, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, here's the leading group. Catboy's just caught up to the back of it, so he's made the pit stop up on everyone. Will it work out? I mean, those hards are going to have to go a long way, but it's not exactly easy to overtake around here. So, well, everyone else's tactic of just staying out and see what happens. Will it work? Maybe they'll be hoping there'll be a bit of field spread, as Matt Shepherd actually does decide to pit. That's a bit of a sacrifice for him there. But I guess these guys are front hoping they can spread the pack enough so that it doesn't really matter if they didn't pit right now. We'll find out later on.
By the way, an update in the shootout for you because of... Oh no, never mind, I'm wrong. Nick's already beaten Leroy. Nick's actually against Bazza this week. And as that stands, Nick is well ahead of Mr. Baldwin, who's down in P18. So Nick's looking to go to the semi-finals. Yori versus Gareth sees Yori ahead. Quinn versus Pete has Pete ahead, but has not stopped. And then Jordan versus Corey. I believe it is Jordan ahead. Yeah, it is, but he has not stopped. Oh! And Jordan almost into the back of Pete Knighton at the hairpin.
I know, but Nick took a big chunk out of the back of Jordan's car, and he picked up a 10-second penalty as a result. That's a bit harsh, but nothing we can do about it. You'll have to see that in the pits. That's just bad luck.
Yep. In one hub, they'd look to remove that. but this is not one up. So you
No,
can get those
terrible,
dirty purple colours
Oh,
off.
Tony's
What's happened?
off!
Tony
What's
has
he
lost
done?
it.
The race
Oh,
leader.
no.
How has he done that then?
And
the
a
safety
safety
car's
car
coming
as
in.
well.
The safety, oh, he didn't. Oh, sadly, we didn't see it. But Christmas has just come early for Casper, as he just sees the field open up. I hope he's not the one who put him off. Although I would have probably seen a 10-second penalty, but losing it at the chicane, that's a bizarre place to go off at these speeds. Anywhere, really, is bizarre to spin off at these speeds. But Tony's managed it. He's now last of the drivers who haven't pitted. And as Casper rounds the final corner, let's see if Ben Shaw will be able to anticipate the restart, try and take advantage. No. Okay,
It's
this is
so
the pits on
hard
the
to do.
restart, by the way, as well, which will relegate him quite far down. But we are green again. And there was a try at a move there, I think, from Nick. And I think Kieran, but nothing happening. A little bit more chances side by side. They're thinking about it, aren't they? But nothing happening as of yet with Kieran. And like I say, Tony, my goodness. We know he's the quickest guy out there at the moment. But he's got to start making some overtakes here in Monaco, which is not far from easy.
He should be fun to ride on board with, I do know
He's
that.
British front win as well, by the way. So
Has he?
I'm
no.
wondering if perhaps he's just nicked the inside of the Nouvelle chicane, and there's a lot of contact in there too as we head for the hairpin, the station hairpin, as Gareth was into the side of Quinn, but no damage there, no visual damage anyway. So a little bit of mucking about here on this restart. It's an odd one that. I just don't get how Tony ends up backwards, even if he did nick that wall, but. Well,
Code
bizarre.
Masters Physics, Owen. He's hit the wall again, by the way. He was doing that in qualifying. Set a very good lap, but you can't do that in the race.
the lack of downforce is going to keep affecting him as well, unfortunately. This is into the pits for Jordan and into the pits for Tony.
Oh, Catboy almost in the wall as well.
Yuri is in the wall, and he's lost his whole front wing, has he? Or is it just an end plate? Hard to tell from that angle. He's being very patient. It's only an end plate, so that's not going to win a safety car out. Okay, he's at the back because he pitted on that restart, so don't worry about him. He's just in his own free air. Hopefully he doesn't run into Yuri at all, and he hasn't. We go green once more. But yeah, Tony, first pit stop underway, and well, if the front damage wasn't enough, he's now behind, what, 11, 12 drivers who've already made that first stop, so that's effectively... Oh, he's lost it again and hit the wall! Oh, Tony. Oh, this is not the statement you were wanting to make, my friend. This is... Oh, disastrous. And it compounds, doesn't it, in Monaco? When you get it wrong once...
Yep.
Ah,
Takes all your confidence away. Ben Shaw now. A regular penalty for him.
You see what lap you're on as well, if you're Tony, and you just can't believe you're going to endure 30 more laps of this. And so the second you come out of the pits, and you think, right, let's just get underway, and you put it straight in the wall. We've all done it, but frustration, and we caught it on stream, which also doesn't help. But yeah, let's stop watching him. I think he's suffered enough. As Ben Shaw closes in on Casper, he's been picking the penalties up. He's now going to start making the overtakes if he wants to get anywhere.
Casper as well.
Big slide, but is there any room for Ben to get through? He'll practically have to push his way past. Will there be any contact here as Ben stays very patient? He could so easily have just stuck a wheel at the inside, but he hasn't managed to. And, well, Casper, he survives, really. You have to say he survives it, because that was a big mistake.
Oh, yeah. He's lucky he wasn't in the wall. I'm surprised Ben didn't try and go for it in turn one, because he only just had to lift and coast through there, and he'd have been side by side all the way up to Casino. As you say, Owen, very patient, but that gap has now resettled back at 0.8 of a second, which is what it was before the Casper issue. But Ben's certainly throwing it around these corners, isn't he? He sniffs an opportunity, and he needs, if he has any chance to win this race, needs to be in front of Casper, I would say, who can pit whenever he wants. Ben Shaw still has to pit twice. Jake very much in this battle as well.
The thing is just the raw pace difference you'll have on the two-stop. This isn't like real F1. You know, a two-stop versus a one-stop here is viable, but it's just very difficult to pull off. So I do agree. I think Ben's got to get ahead early. He'll get the undercut at some point in this race, but obviously he had to make the pit stop twice to get ahead for the first pit stop, and you might just cycle in the right place. So let's see. And obviously that penalty means he's got to get a move on regardless. He's certainly strong on the first sector of the lap, isn't he?
Oh
And he
yeah.
gets a good run out of the final corner too. It's just about being brave enough to throw your car at the inside, because you get it wrong, front line's gone, possibly out of the race as well, as we see Quinn into the wall. I don't think he's got... he has got big damage on the front left, unfortunately, and he's hit the wall again. Look out for the safety car, because that's the whole front wing gone, and there it is. Safety car deployed. Look out for pit stops in the top 5, or at least maybe
yes.
2nd to 5th. Or maybe Casper will do it. I mean, Casper can pit, put the hards on, get to the end of the race. It might be a viable strategy.
I feel like
I think Gareth will be
if I'm in
hoping for
Casper's
it.
position, oh Bazza, yeah, if I'm in Casper's position, I'm pitting now for hards all the way to the end.
I think Gareth, he knows he's going to the end basically until he can start leading some laps. So he'll be hoping to see Casper's car come to the pits, because he'll be able to jump him at that point.
Here we go.
Stays out. Quinn has retired as well. He's crashed on his way back to the pits. The rest of the top 4, or yeah, the rest of the top 5 have pitted. So Casper, he's going it alone. Is it a mistake? I think it is, you know, because it basically means the whole field's now sitting on a one stop to the end of the race. So if anything goes wrong for Casper, well, you know, nothing really he can do about that.
Massive
and you can
error.
see Kieran right on the back of him. So I mean, he's on fresher tyres. Those mediums are only going to get slower.
The only thing now that saves Casper is another well-timed safety car. Of course, it's a late stage 2, so these guys cannot pit until lap 33 at the earliest. So Casper has the advantage of leading and being able to pit whenever he wants, but the pace at the end, if he leaves it to go slightly earlier, is going to counteract him. Because we know now, with Tony way down in P17, we know Jake, Kieran and Ben certainly can all keep up with this man.
I did notice, by the way, that Yuri had picked up damage. He's come to the pits to fix that. He picked that up a few laps ago, I think, but he still stays ahead of Tony, who also changed his front wing. So we now have 17 healthy cars, thankfully, on the track. Must be said, we've already used 3 of our safety car slots now, haven't we? Because we had a VSC and 2 fills, and we're only on lap 12. Another thing that might go against Casper in this race, if it ends up going green for a long stretch of period, he may not be able to pull a gap out, and it just needs Kieran to undercut him again. And obviously we've got a long way to go until we get to that point. But what does Casper
I think
do?
he's lost the race there.
I tend to agree, you know, because all he had to do was pit. He would have stayed, you know, in what, 8th place, 7th place. Not too bad, really not too bad, obviously, because you know everyone else is going to pit out of your way. But well, we'll see. He is the CEO of making it look really difficult to win an easy race. He's the Lando Norris of this league, unfortunately for him. But even Lando hasn't managed to make it this bad.
Yeah, Jose Mourinho would say he's a specialist in failure.
I personally think the Lando Norris comparison's a bit better, and that's not just because I'm an Arsenal fan.
That's why I did it.
But yes, as we see more pit stops, OKK and Corey, I believe, is in as well. Although saying that front wing is still broken. So how's he been in? Must have been in, but he's put 5 lap old mediums on, and he's still got a broken front wing. So that's a bit of an odd one for him.
Still going.
Might
control that.
I fancy that. You can see it, really, can't you? He's on a pad. I'd say 4 or 5 tries to get to that corner, thanks to the understeer and the instability that comes with that. Driving a one-off race on pad around Monaco is torture. It is
of
torture.
All the races.
Yeah.
You want to do it at a speedway if it's going to happen, don't you?
Exactly. But nothing he can do about it, just survive. He's lucky he's got his race win, let us say. He doesn't really have to worry too much as a result. But still, he'd like a strong race, wouldn't he? But it'll take quite a lot from where he is.
Corey's actually 5th in points, but 4 points clear of Leroy, who's out of this race. 10 points clear of Gareth Hall in P7. But his gap in front of him to Ben Harrott is a good 16 points. So just a handful of points will do Corey here if he can get to the end.
Yeah, but he didn't pit there. I'm gonna just get rid of, just fix the front when you're already 2 places off the back. You know, just pit. Something else to point out, by the way, is we did mention this on the way through to the start of the safety car. Gareth, of course, is going to try and start to lead a lap. We're very excited about this because we know he brings the entertainment. Even on the likes of China, where we've got great big, huge, ginormous straights and hairpins to pass, he even managed to cause trouble there. Here in Monaco, there's nowhere to pass, and I tell you, he'll play every trick in the book. And I see no reason why from P5 at the moment with the 4 in front of him, well, everyone has to pit one more time. He's actually in a genuinely very good position in this race, isn't he?
That's a genuine P5.
but the problem is he will want to lead the lap more than finish well. He may even get a lucky safety car, you never know, but he will stay out until he's the race leader, and then whatever happens from there on is in God's hands.
Could you imagine a Gareth will win at Monaco?
I certainly could. I think he probably could as well. And knowing the way this track is with late safety cars, I mean, all he has to do is be in the right place at the right time and be the person causing the accident. There's nothing really stopping you from being as slow as you fancy at the front. You know, look out for his tactics later on, because he's looking to lead 5 races in a row. He knows exactly what he's doing, and you would have thought the whole rest of the field would have thought about that as well. But if you're Casper, are you even thinking about Gareth? You're probably not, really, are you? I don't think they're all thinking about Casper and thinking, why is he not pitted? Well, let's see what happens. A long way from that eventuality, 25 laps, but yeah, it'll be worth seeing what Gareth gets up to as we see Casper crawling through to the final corner. Does he know what he wants to do with the strategy? Is he still confident he's going to win the Monaco Grand Prix on his Joker from pole? He wants to sweep all the points today if he can manage it, which would suggest a very late pit stop for him in this race. So look out for that too. As we go green once again.
Good restart from Catboy. Sorry
oh
to interrupt
no!
there.
Gareth has crashed and he's hit Ben. Oh, who is he hit? He's hit Arnold, I think, or was it Matt Shepard? Whoever he's hit, front wing's massively damaged on both, I think. Oh dear
Matt
me.
Shep's front wing is gone.
Yeah, Gareth's is also damaged, and the excitement is over. Or he'll try and start anyway. That could make it even more messy, but he'll struggle for pace from there as he dies at the inside of Arnaud. Well, I guess Arnaud's the one who hit him, or you know, must have been a pushing motion because Gareth was so fast into turn 1, it caused all of the pile up. I'm noticing Ben Shaw was barging his way through there on, I believe, Pete. Because he's trying to get at Jake. He's on the mediums, is Ben Shaw, so he wants to make something work on these, but he couldn't find a way through. Saying that though, he's still behind a car. He's behind 2 heavily damaged vehicles, so let's not worry too much about that. Jake's damaged as well, actually, so Ben's behind 3 heavily damaged vehicles. Fantastic. I think Casper will quite like that
as well. Casper will like that, but he won't know that. The restart from Catboy was unbelievable, by the way. He did a better job than Ben Shaw last time around, and he is keeping the pressure on at the minute as we cross over lap 15 into 16.
Oh, Gareth's wide,
P3,
and he loses the position. Oh, does Jake fancy it? I think Gareth's designs on P1 are pretty much going to end with this overtake. As he's nearly spun into the side of Jake, who's still alongside. But surely, if you're Ben Shaw, you try it as locking up his rear brakes and nearly spinning into the corner. There goes Jake. Well saved, I must say. But now there's contact with Ben Shaw, who's trying to barge his way past, and he's through.
He's worked.
Nice stuff there, but a very good save from Jake to not put it in the wall. It has to be said. That was skillful stuff. But now, can Ben Shaw get past? Oh, look at that! It's brake checking on the way through the tunnel. The king and queen of Portimao, they're not being too friendly, are they? As we go side by side to the Nouvelle chicane, and through goes both Jake and Ben. Oh, high entertainment. And Pete didn't even think about trying it into Porsche. Or into Spack, I should say. It's probably for the better he didn't, because that could have been an airplane crash in itself.
Is Gareth going to try and stay out? Oh, he's run awful wide
he's
there.
so wise into the pits. I think it's
he's in the wall.
I think he was trying to get to the pits in fairness, but he just spun it by himself. VSC deployed.
Perfect for Project Chase.
Well, do you know what? He'll see this as a victory.
No, we will. It is a victory.
It's a massive victory. He's finishing last. Oh dear. That is a shame, because if he just held on a bit longer, we would see how much he was fighting nose to him. Imagine him fighting in the lead with that, but it'll take a lot for that to happen now. Saying that, if we get another safety car, he's back on the back of the field. I mean, you never know. But with these VSCs, they are sort of running down the clock in terms of getting safety cars out, and we only are on lap 17, so maybe the safety car won't come for Gareth. As we see Casper closely followed by Kieran. He'll be looking to try and get the restart perfectly timed, like he did for the safety car restart. It depends, of course, where on the track you get that restart, but keep your eye on it, because Kieran, he'll eye an overtake if he can. Ben Harris in 3rd place, by the way. I know he's got a penalty, but I don't know where he came
Win
from.
on his birthday on the cards.
Yeah, I know we were talking about him earlier on, but where did he actually start? Because he's taken advantage of the safety car, hasn't he, to make this work.
Yeah.
He's up 9 places, so he's come from P12. And look at that, we're going great, and Kieran has spotted it, but he didn't go for the move. Oh, it was there. It's still there. Up the hill we go, side by side, and Kieran's into the lead. Brilliantly done on the restart, perfectly timed. And like I say, you got to be alert. It happened at the exact right moment as well, didn't it? On the exit of the final corner. And Kieran, I don't know, Catboy Kieran, whatever you want to call him, he's into the lead. And now Casper, oh, you've got a lot of work to do from here, I think.
It's imperative now for Casper to pit early and get the undercut on Kieran. Otherwise, he's going to walk away with this. He has to stay close on this lap. I think he's got to go. Now is the time for hards if you've got any chance of winning this race. Kieran's looking lively.
Is it? Casper can still pit whatever he wants. The stage points are gone now. So, what do you do though? If I'm him, I don't know what to do here, because I'll be sat there thinking, if only I'd pitted under the safety car.
Yep. He lifted for Kieran, and that's why the pass happened. He let him through.
Yeah, didn't want to risk the accident.
He has to get the undercut now. You've got to pit Casper. No. I think it's gone, Owen.
I do fear it for him. We just say it might happen, and it looks like it is. Pitting Matt Shepherd. Now, he had a massive chunk of his front wing taken off at turn 1 on the safety car restart. I guess the damage has got too much for him, and he's in for a new front wing and a brand new set of the medium combine tires. It's worth saying that Gareth, I think, made 2 stops into that VSC. He's now on as fresh as you can possibly get mediums. Can he get them to the end? He'll try it. He'll need a safety car to punch him back onto the pack as Corey into the wall. Oh, do you dive it? No, he's being careful now. He's
Gareth in the wall.
As he beats it as well. The front really went up in the air. He nearly beaches it, but he does get it out. And do you know what? There's no damage on that car, I don't think. Oh, very pedestrian. Oh, there is left-hand side damage. Oh, yeah. Gareth, this is amateur R. Unbelievable. We were trying to give you a chance here, but if you pit now, you'll get lapped. So, I mean, well, that can still cause trouble. We just want you to entertain us, Gareth. It's not a hard thing to do. At this rate, might as well just get him in the commentary box. He's blown his race now. Just put it in the wall, would you? Give us something interesting to do. As Catboy, a second clear now, over a second clear of Casper. It's going very much to plan. Has Kieran ever won here in Monaco before? I don't recall it ever happening.
No. Do you want me to reel off?
Is that okay,
Monaco winners?
Sorry, okay, so it doesn't damage, but yes, go ahead.
Monaco winners in the Cup Series: Arnaud de Grief, followed by... You know what? We didn't come here in Season 2. Could you believe that?
So long ago now.
And then Season 3 was Khalifa. Season 4 was Kyle. Season 5, Casper. Season 6, Casper. Season 7 was Kyle. Season 8, Ben Shaw. Season 9, last season, was Jake O'Sullivan.
There you go then. So, Kieran, time to just stop the free peak really from happening behind you. You've got a call in favour, haven't you, at this stage? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Actually, all it takes is one mistake. I don't know what Kieran's setup is. Is he still on PS4 or what? Or what's? Oh, I thought he had the wall there, but he's not.
I'm sure he's a PS5 man, isn't he?
I thought he had issues with it last week. He was on the PS4. Maybe it was his girlfriend or something.
He was having racial affairs, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's still on that account though. So I think
that's a very valid point. I'm not sure.
We need to ask him post race. I mean, I'd suggest with his pace, he must be on PS5 again. But, yeah, it's worth investigating later on, as Pete gets past, a heavily damaged Jake. I wonder if there's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on there, because that is Jake with a huge chunk of his front wing missing on the left-hand side, and he's nearly hit the wall again. Is under pressure now from Jordan. Didn't throw it up the inside, but that suggests to me that when Pete's been past him, and I'm not accusing him, I'm just hypothesising, maybe he's been pushed into the wall slightly. as Okeke gets a speeding penalty. How many times has he been in the pits today? We're only halfway through, but that is only his fourth visit. Feels like more. Still plenty of time to make it 9 or 10 if you really want to go for the record. And yeah, riding with Jake, that car is pretty much in huge trouble, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I was just admiring Jordan's reluctance to change into 8th gear on the run out of the tunnel.
Oh, so close on the way through swimming pool 2. Just no way through. Well, Jake Pitt, you'd sort of imagine he will, and he does. He lost nearly 5 seconds in that lap. It just wasn't worth sticking with it, unfortunately for him. As Jordan leads that pack of cars out and into turn 1. Tony's
wing
back
damage, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he is. I don't know where Ben's picked that up from. And as you say, Tony P11 with a full front wing this time. Tony led the first 6 laps and then lost it under safety car, you may remember. And he's on the back of Nick, who's on the back of Yori. Yellow flags.
Is that okay again? It is. And that was with the leaders, though. I hope he hasn't done any damage to them. That would be seriously unfortunate and highly dramatic, and we'd never want anything like that to happen.
Oh, no.
Let's see. I think they're okay. Maybe he was just trying to get out of the way, but that could be visit 5 to the pits. Is he damaged? It's hard to tell. Can't get a good look at the... Oh, it's not damaged. Oh, that's no fun. Maybe he just parked it to get out of their way. The Jess Ball style of just... I'll just put the brakes on, see what happens. As through turn 1, still keeping the 1 second lead is Kieran.
You're like this in chat. Waze says Gareth's having a stinker with the popcorn emoji, so Waze certainly will be liking this one. Of course, Waze serving is it a 2 or a 3 race ban? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't even know.
No, it's not.
Well, we'll race 2 of it regardless of what it is.
I think it's a 1 race ban.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, no.
He
Should
might
look at the
correct
fight
me.
for P3 on track, by the way, because obviously with Ben Harrah having a broken front wing himself, and Michel Goris is practically pushing him around the track. I don't know how many podiums he's had in the Cup Series, but this doesn't feel like it's a regular occurrence for him.
Who's this, sorry?
Michel Goris, who's challenging for P3 right now. Has it net P3?
Michel Goris. I don't count podiums. I count top 5s, but he's had 2 top 5s. His best Cup Series finish is P5, so I imagine he's done 5th twice.
There you go then. So this is high flying then. I knew I hadn't seen him too often, but he's got to make the move happen, hasn't he? Because this is too slow now for Ben Harrah, and with Arnaud right on the back of Michel, there's potential for him to lose that place. But good car placement from Ben Harrah. He knows exactly what he's doing around here, it has to be said. And he's holding on to P3 on track. The train now is going all the way back down to Pete Knighton with these guys. So that's only 5 cars in fairness, but it could grow. I mean, Jordan's 5 seconds away from it, but never say never on that, because I feel like Ben Harrah is going to start getting a lot slower, and they're all catching Okeke as well. It could cause a bit of a mess.
By the way, Owen, Casper's lost a second in the last lap to Catboy.
23 lap all tyres. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, they're gone.
It's not too late to make the pit stop and, do the undercut. Nothing actually stopping him doing it, is there? I know it's waiting for a safety car. Maybe. Is it waiting for a safety car as well? I mean, just get the pit stop done. You're too slow. The race is going away from you. Even if you do wait for a safety car, that's only going to guarantee you 2nd place. Take a risk.
Pits.
There you go. He's listening to me.
So this will be for Hards.
He hasn't hit the wall, has he, though? I mean, he's lost a second on that lap, and now he's coming in. I mean, has he hit the wall? Let's say there's a front wing waiting for him. I hope not, for the sake of the race, but, yellow flags, that's a car on the wall. And Michel Goris has picked up a penalty for hitting Ben Shaw. How is that even possible? Ben Shaw's hit the wall, lost his whole front wing. But, how has that happened? How have they ended up so close to each other? That really surprises me. And I'm not imagining things. They were nowhere near each other.
Third.
I'm really confused here as to what's going on, because Michel Goris has lost his end plate. I mean, Ben Harrod's obviously up to 2nd place, that's fine. Pete Knighton's jumped the whole train up to the back here, and Michel Goris is down to front. So has Michel got it wrong, and being collected, perhaps.
Well, perhaps Team Speed are trying to orchestrate a Pete Knighton win.
Because Jordan's obviously caught, 5 seconds in all this as well, haven't they? So that's a bit bizarre.
We've totally missed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all happening in the final corner. Either way, Ben Shaw's lost the whole of his front wing, so a bit of JACKOCAR might be needed for that one, but unfortunately that'll have to be allowed to the race. And so it'll just take as long as normal VAR, as Ben hits the wall quite hard. Jake and Arnold as well is right at the back. He pitted. We didn't see that. I wonder if him pitting has perhaps caused all that, because he was right behind Michel Gorries, wasn't he?
Yes.
Interesting stuff, bizarre stuff, you could say. Merely because we didn't see it. It might be really boring, but it hasn't brought out a safety car, bizarrely. With a whole front wing going missing and cars all over the show as Arnold loses the rear end of the final corner. Nearly gets caught by Jake, and now we have more yellow flags, and that is for OKK, isn't it? He's just stopped.
Yeah.
And now he has
Casper,
to
by the way, in all of that, come out in P6, so not too bad, but Kieran with the advantage.
What's
the
it
only
now?
disadvantage. Well, he's got to wait till lap 33, but he'll be on to soft, so it does actually tee it up nicely for a little battle at the end. More yellow flags again. OKK entering the tunnel there.
I don't like it when he does this, because it causes a lot of problems, and he keeps doing it. It worries me. But I think the thing here for Casper, this all hinges on there not being a safety car now. The second a safety car pops up, well, even then, actually, if a safety car pops up right now, he's fine. There's a safety car. There's definitely a safety...
Pete Knighton at the wall!
Yeah, I was waiting for you to notice, really, but I can't believe no one's hit him.
I was on board with Casper.
I can't!
Pete,
oh, he's
Pete.
ghosted.
Oh, my...
Why is he ghosted? That's not allowed to happen.
Jesus.
That's not allowed to happen on this. Oh, it's because we've gone safety, perhaps. But, yeah, so Pete
tell you
Knighton, we did watch it. He lost it out of the final corner, and we were just talking about the safety car. So he's hit the wall again.
Advantage Casper.
Yes, that's essentially what we're saying. That safety car had to happen now for things to go in Casper's favour. So, like I said, it was okay. I just wasn't expecting that to happen to the man who was chasing second place. And, well, for the man in second place, he'd only lost 19 seconds to Kieran, and, well, he gets to catch up a little bit. So he won't mind that too much, will Ben Harrett?
It does mean that Catboy will probably win both stages now. One would
He'll
guess.
have to, won't he? I mean, he has to take something from this. Because, yeah, I agree. Casper, as long as he doesn't get involved in an accident, should be the man to look at for the win again. But, like, we see this around Monaco all the time. It can go wrong so quickly. And Michel Gorries, you've sped under safety car. Oh, that's just tragic. But we are seeing the pit stop from Kieran. So that will let Ben Harrett lead the race, and he will pick up some stage points for it as well. The man who's, of course, qualified for the playoffs by winning in the Speedway. He'll appreciate some playoff points for his troubles today, and he may not have been expecting them. Casper back up to second place is what that means. Jordan in third, and with no penalties on his rears. That's handy for him. A lot of the field, a load in this field have actually made their second stops already. And Gareth, just what's the point in you being here, mate? He's nearly hit the safety car, but he's sped behind it now as well.
Nobody's made their second stops, Owen. Lap 33.
Well, my point is, a lot have made a second stop on the tyres, but they haven't waited until... So my point is, with like Casper and Jordan and Nick and Arnold and Kieran even. Kieran's is somewhat acceptable, and Ben Harrett, of course, why wouldn't he stay out? But that's a really mixed up order. And does that get Tony back into the running if he can get some moves done on the restarts? I mean, he may be looking at a podium at the end of this still. He hasn't got any penalties. Everyone behind him will have to pit again. That's a lot of people looking to go aggressive and try racing around Monaco. That's someone's on the wall. Who's that on the wall? Pete Knighton's on the wall again.
You shouldn't laugh.
Well. You know what it'll be like in the chat as well. That was my podium, I can't believe it, again.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it. All the blah. For a man who just doesn't know how to drive anymore. following someone who somehow has had a much worse race than him, and is now slowing right down for him, I think, to mess about. But Gareth, I mean, he's still got drive through to take, hasn't he? I mean, what a disaster for him. Let's say, he was actually having a really good race, was Gareth. And Pete Knighton. It's just what Monaco does to you, isn't it? Oh, all the entertainment's at the back. Unless Jordan does something incredible, which, I mean, don't put it past him. Don't put it past him. He's in a very good position here. He could win a podium today. And he only got one in Baku, didn't he? So Jordan finding his pace this season. Very, very nice to see. No, Gareth has pitted. Hope you don't think you're taking a dry. Oh, he's taking a front wing. Oh, Gareth, this is just pit. This is really embarrassing, actually. I hope you're ashamed of yourself. There's ways of going about Project Chase, and this isn't one of them.
By the way, Owen, the
Yes.
stage win that Ben Harrett is about to claim undoes his penalty from a couple races ago. He has a -1 playoff penalty, so this will put him back to 7 playoff points.
I'm sure that penalty really hurts him then. He'll go and try and get the second playoff. All things going well, he'll get the second one too, and then that'll mean the penalty is doubly undone because he then gets to gain one. Broken front wing no. On a restart against a car who's got 19 lap younger tyres and 2 cars behind him, a guy who's got brand new softs. For the man who made a name for himself last season by blocking so hard he caused a multi-car pilot which directly qualified him for the Championship 5, this could still be anyone's race, with Ben Harrett in the lead of it right now.
Oh yes. I think it works out better for us as commentators and spectators that Ben is leading over Casper on
He wants
old
his
tyres.
I'll tell you what, he wants his cake, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's
and
gonna have to
Jordan's
earn it.
in this as well. Jordan's not going to hang about. I mean, there's a potential race win on the line.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. What's he got to lose? He is
Kieran
having
on
a very
fresh
good
softs.
season, though, is what I'm worried about with him, because he's right on the fringes of becoming a playoff top 10 qualifier at the moment. So he will have that in the back of his mind. If he can qualify for the playoffs on pure pace and points, he'll be very, very pleased with himself.
12 points clear of the cut line is Jordan Lane as it stands. Someone else who's 12 points clear is Casper Klein. He's had a season so far of a P2, a did not start, a DSQ, a DNF. Then he had 2 fifth places in a row, and then last week he was P11 in Belgium. But there's been 3 races that he has won and then lost through silly errors. But Casper, he has the advantage tonight as it stands. Everyone else has to pit from lap 33 or later. He's good to the end, but this is JACKOCAR, and Ben Harrett leads Monaco on his birthday on 24 lap old hard tyres. Owen Wyatt, take us for this restart.
So, we know Casper has maybe not had the best restart today. That second one was pretty suspect, so what will he be looking out for with Ben Harrett? Maybe he'll be a bit more aware than he would be. Maybe not. Very good restart from Kieran again, who doesn't get quite up to the back of Casper, but Casper was going to get nowhere near Ben Harrett. He had a really good start, and Jordan
Penalty.
straight back past. That must have been an illegal overtake. He must have got past too early, and Jordan regains that P3. But look how fast this is up the hill now. There's just that sense of urgency from everyone here to get the moves done. Down the inside goes Kieran, down the inside goes Arnold. A lot of stuff going on here, a lot of contact being made, and front wing's flying. And I think Nick just about avoided Tony, or will he put him in the wall now? He's going to slow this down loads. But Arnold getting the move a little bit aggressive, but he's got past Tony, and I'm sure he'll really appreciate that. And Jordan behind Kieran, he was quick with the move. He's now going to have a look. Is he on Casper? Is he obviously holding on quite well to the back of Ben Harrett as well? It's pass or be passed in Monaco. And
Nick and Yori fighting all the way. Oh, I love it.
Sadly, Nick's damage is just too much, isn't it? That combined with the fact that his front wing and his old tyres against new softs, it's a lose-lose really if you're in his situation. But
Here
you
goes
might as well try
Kieran.
and hold up. Kieran, let's see if we can find him. There he is. That's a P2. Well, that was very easy, wasn't it? There was
Casper let him go.
Yeah. Can he nick the playoff point? Kieran, he's on the lap. He can do it, isn't he? Yes, lap 32, end of the stage. He's going to get it, isn't he? He's so much faster than Ben Hart. But will Ben Hart defend? Let's see. Did so as the Massenet. I mean, he might as well defend. Oh, contact! As Kieran tries to push him round. Arnold up into P4 now, getting past Jordan. For the man who was right at the back at the start, he's made a good comeback through the field. And that could lead to a podium. But here comes Kieran. I think Ben Hart's going to defend to the inside. He doesn't quite, but Kieran didn't fancy taking the risk. He's pushing the race leader around the track. He's slowing him down loads here. This field's all being bunched up. It's like we're back on the safety car, side by side, into the chicane. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. They were glued to each other. That can't be a legal overtake, surely. He just cut the corner. But will he be able to get away? Oh!
Damage
dear,
for Casper.
That was so close to damage for Casper. And Kieran, I'm waiting to see a legal overtake penalty. He hasn't got one. He's got the playoff point. There it is. He's 10-second penalty. That's what he gets for it. Casper's been overtaken by Arnold. And up the hill he'll go. I'm trying to see if Kieran's got front wheel drive. I'm sure I saw his right end plate. And yes, it is. It's gone. His right end plate flew off as he made that move. But he got the playoff point at the cost of a 10-second time penalty. I think he'll say it was worth it.
Yeah,
down the inside goes R9, more contact as he barges his way past Ben Hart and Casper into the back and then being hit in the back by Jordan. My goodness me. Ben Hart is causing the chaos we were expecting, but these guys want another safety car. Oh, big slide for Casper.
Oh.
And Tony's now only got one car between himself and Casper. He's going to get past Jordan surely. And he's up into P5, so he chases the man who hits the man who he was ahead of at the very start of this race. And with Ben Hart still being there, you bet Tony's going to go for a move at some point here. Another ERT enemy. Let's see if he can dispatch him quickly as we head towards the rest. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it. I really thought he was going to dive him. He's being patient. Ah, that's no fun. Into the pits comes Ben Hart. And now onto the main straight, nearly losing it there. Was Yuri, who's up into 4th place. Decent stuff from him there if he can just stay on the road. And through turn 1, big drift there from Tony, but he's got to get a move on. He fancies that P2. And, well, again, he also wants a safety car. So a lot of pits happening, a lot for new softs. Everyone on 0 lap old softs, they're going to the end. It's as easy as that to say. And R9's the leader of those. As Tony into the back of Casper again. This is so dangerous for these two guys' races. And Casper, he'll be... well, just a little nervous, I would have thought, seeing all this happening behind him. He's done well not to get any penalties in this race. Pretty much all his opposition does, apart from Jordan. Look out for him nicking a podium at the end. It's just purely because of the penalties. No, let's see, can Tony do it? Oh, he's being boring here. Why are you going for the move, man? I want some entertainment.
I hope Tony knows that he still has the pit as well.
Oh, don't even. Oh, don't
Tony,
even.
Yuri, Matt Shepherd, Bazza, I believe Gareth, Corey and OKK all need to make their stop still.
Very wide there for Casper. He's not having a good time on those tyres as Kieran into the pits. And Tony, indeed, is staying with it. Well, he's got, what, 2 or 3 laps to get another safety car. And he now goes alongside Casper, up the hill. It's Perez Magnussen, but I think Casper's done the sensible thing there to avoid any dramas. A few yellow flags, but nothing serious going on out there. I don't think I'll be seeing any penalties or any safety cars for anything going on there. And look at that, Kieran's come out a long way behind this. Has he had to change his front wing? I would have just, no he hasn't. Where's he lost all that time then? Because he's got Ben Shaw right on. That's a bit of an odd one. As Arnold gets himself through up into 4th place ahead of Bazza. Checking to see where Jordan is. He is holding up behind Yuri, but yeah, nothing really doing there for him at the minute. He needs to just hope that everyone's penalties in front of him are enough, or a very late safety car will do him just fine as well to get a podium position in Monaco. Let's see if Tony is going to pit this lap. He's taken the lead. Does he know he has to pit?
Yeah.
Yes. I think maybe he just did that for a bit of pride. Wouldn't blame him.
Doesn't get a lap led for it though.
Yeah, he got his laps earlier, didn't he?
Yeah, he got 6 earlier, but lap 35 goes to Casper. And now he has 8 seconds, plus Arnaud's penalty is the gap, and 4 laps to hold on to a third Monaco victory in JACKOCAR for Casper Klein. Can he do it? We've seen this happen before. And remember the Arnaud puncher with 1 to go, and Kyle Smith coming through on the final lap and winning. Anything can happen.
Well, I tell you what, it nearly did there, because Tony was up the inside of Ben Hart and nearly had him in the wall, and now he's up the inside of Baza. No, he backed off. Baza, who, again, maybe just trying to wait for that last safety car. Or maybe he's misread lap 32, is that 22? Who knows? Yeah, we'll see if he stays out, but he'll slow this field down to plenty enough. Especially, that'll help. Again, Jordan will quite like to see that, wouldn't he? But he'll gain him a few positions at the end of this race. But Tony, all over the back. And around the outside, this will be of Baza, risky stuff, but I'm sure Baza will back off for me. He's a fair driver.
Drives into Harrop.
Ben Harrop didn't see him coming, I don't think, and that's a big dive there as well from Jake. Nicely so done, but that's side by side into back. Oh, Yuri, what a move! Up into P5. Oh, that's got to be a safety car. How have that not ended up out of the race? He's punctured his front right tyre, has Ben Harrop. Flashbacks of last season, but how has he hit the wall on the way into the triple chicane and come out of it alive? Oh, unbelievable
scenes. There's no safety car because we've ran out, Owen, and it's too late anyway. Casper, I think, is on his way here, free to go, but Ben Harrop should be out on his birthday. And
Jordan's
not out
in the
on the
pits
town,
as well.
out of this Monaco race. Jordan involved, as you say.
No, I think he damaged the front line, but he hasn't changed it. And for the man, he had no penalties. That was a great position waiting there for him. He'll be so frustrated there as he comes out, and because it means we have to do some maths now to work out who's going to finish on the podium, which is never really very fun, is it? Hopefully, Arnaud's penalties are quite low. Oh, they're fine.
We'll just let it happen. I reckon.
That'll be fine.
Let the game sort it out.
I think the top 3 will just be the top 3.
Yeah, Tony is behind Arnaud, by the way. That could be interesting if he can find 7 seconds. I don't think he will.
No, it only has to find 4. Not that that's...
Penalty!
Okay, yeah, he has to find 7 seconds. We were right the first time. And yeah, I'd love to know where Kieran lost all the time. If he was just flat out undercut everyone, but yeah, not having the front wing get changed doesn't help things much either in his case. As Jake all over the back of him, so many drivers could have had a good result today, and it all ended up in damage, in accidents. Luckily for Casper, he's the only one who hasn't really made any big mistakes. We were worried about his strategy. He certainly went for the risky approach, and he got the safety car that he needed. And he looks like he's on to win the 3rd time in Monaco. But watching Jake, he is drifting into the corners every way around the track. I mean, I can't imagine he's got much in terms of rear tyres left. But certainly a unique driving style here from Monaco. I don't recommend it. I'm sure he probably doesn't recommend it. But unfortunately, I'm trying to find any fights here, but no one's really fighting.
Well, Owen, it's that time of the race where I tell you, you know what's coming. It's 1 lap to go, not sponsored by Credit One Bank. And Casper Klein is on his way to what I believe would be his 10th Cup Series victory. That is correct, 10 Cup Series victories. And also, he's made 1 stop. If he completes this lap, it would be 15 Joker wins in the Cup Series all time. And the last one to come at Monaco, can you remember? It was season 3, Khalifa El Khalifa in round 7. We've only had Khalifa win here on a Joker, and Casper is halfway round to making it 2 Joker wins in Monaco, but 15 all time in the Cup Series. This may well be the last ever Joker victory we see. He's done it flawlessly. It's perfect all evening. We said he'd lost it on lap 11, but how were we wrong? 1/3 of a lap to go. Owen Wyatt, bring Casper home.
Thought he might be able to get all the way around the lap there. He was starting to run out of breath, weren't you?
I ran out of breath, yeah.
As for his third post chicane for the last time, Casper, he's got an 8.3 second lead. He knows he's done enough. I believe we saw him try and drift around here when he last won. I don't think he's going to get too showy off it. He just wants to get to the line. It's been a difficult season so far, but Casper is finally a race winner and booked for the playoffs. And boy, did he make it difficult for himself throughout the season. But tonight, it actually was relatively straightforward. He had a few scares, but in the end, Casper got there first. Arnaud, P2. And Tony's slow into a crawl across the line. Is he trying to give Yuri a podium? He has given Yuri a podium. He'll very much appreciate that, won't he? And Tony will take P4. Ben Shaw in 5th. Nick up to 6th. We benefit from the penalties, passing Kieran, Jake and Matt Shepherd. Michelle Garis, into the wall. I think he might have been pushed there a little bit by Jordan. 2 of the what-ifs tonight, unfortunately. They both had their own issues. Drive-through for Michelle and damage for Jordan. And they both could have been in the running for podiums. Instead, it's 10th and 11th across the line. Bazit in 12th. Ben Harrett, he was very entertaining. And he ends up still being entertaining. In fact, look at that. Look who's not got a front win in Monaco. It's Pete Knighton behind Ben Harrett and also being followed by Gareth, who's again damaged his car. Gareth ends up at the head of that group thanks to penalties. Pete and Ben following him through. Okay, Kate. Shock car, his front wind's broken as well, and he's the last finisher because Corey got himself lapped on the last tour, which lets him finish the race a lap early. But yeah, Yuri on the podium. I thought you'd be excited.
I am. I'm just counting up the laps led. Casper wins the most laps led playoff with 17 this evening. So not quite half race distance. He was only 1 away. But yeah, Yuri on the podium. Fuck me, something must be wrong. I said something special was going to happen, didn't I?
Yeah. It's so special. You can't believe. You actually can't believe it. Yeah. Genuine
Do you want
shock.
Some Yuri stats for you?
I mean, we've got to celebrate the bloke.
15 top 5 finishes. Sorry, yeah. Become 16 top 5 finishes. It's not a win though. That's Casper. 10.
Correct. But we are celebrating.
Wins for.
We are celebrating the 201st race in JACKOCAR for Yuri. So it's nice of him to get the big result on his brother's 100th race. So maybe not the happiest of occasions, but still happy days for him. He came from 11th place. Arnold came from 17th, but Casper from P1 led the race, won the race. So Arnold second, Yuri third, Tony, Ben Shaw, Nick, Kieran, Jake, Matt Shepherd, Michelle Garis, Jordan, Bazza, Gareth, Pete, Ben Harrett, OKK, Corey, and then the retirements. Only 2 of them, Quinn and Leroy. And that's your race.
Congratulations, Corey, for completing that on a pad. He only picks up a single point, but that point could be worth something in the future. Who knows? Obviously, Corey already into the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter. He puts himself up to 63 points.
Right then, where are we next week? Let's have a look. In our 12 race regular season, remember, thanks to the joyous celebrations of the last season of JACKOCAR, where we milk it. We're milking it. So yes, Imola next, followed by Portugal, which I may have to whack myself in the cockpit for. Qatar, which I definitely won't, and Austria, which I definitely won't. But that is the rest of the regular season. This time in a month, we will know who our 10 playoff drivers are and who's won their places in the chase, because they'll celebrate that more than they'll celebrate playoffs. Some of them.
Yeah, and club card shootout results as well. Nick, Yuri, Jordan, and Pete Knighton all advanced to the semi-finals.
Yes, that's obviously the more important one. I'm glad you can name them now, because yeah, I still don't know if I got everyone's name right last week. It was a highly embarrassing moment in my life.
I know everyone's face now.
Yeah,
some of them still make me sick.
I just don't. Anyway, I think we probably should stop now, because my PS4 is taking more than it can handle. Not that you can hear it, because I've looked after it this time. I will be back in Salford next week, so hopefully any streaming issues, maybe, mind you, this feels like it's gone quite smoothly, but the stream should be nice and normal next week. I suppose the game will be in slightly higher quality for you again, and I won't have to do a wacky setup to make it all work. But enough about my behind the scenes. That has been JACKOCAR Season 10 Round 8. We're closing in on the end times, people. We're in September. December, we're nearly there. Jacko's admin work is so nearly finished. But,
can he wait, lad?
Can he wait? Worth, as well mentioning, again, keep your eye on Jacko Ball and Gareth as usual. He'll be doing his, whatever the hell it is he does with that. It is all very good. So, yeah, keep your eye on that, because we're still doing that. Eventually you'll see loads of it, and it'll be our pride, possession, everything, because when the Cup Series ends, who knows, JACKOCAR, maybe it'll just continue forever. Anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, safe travels. See you next week.